Hey guys, Chris Ashley. Welcome back to Passion for the Wild and Wonderful. Today what I'm doing is I'm going to be frost seeding some red and white clover. Just to give you a little frame of reference, today is February 27th. So for our area, one of the things that I did was I went on Weather Underground and looked at historical highs and lows for end of February and all of March. And what I was looking for was just trying to see, do I still have a decent number of good days and nights to get the whole freeze and thaw cycle to help drive the clover seed down into the soil. So we just got done having a good melt of snow. The ground is good, saturated. So this, I think, is a good time to do it. I have some good days it shows. It should be still setting up for freeze and thaw to help drive that clover down in. So what I'm looking about doing today is a 1 acre plot. So I'd already overseeded it in the fall with some winter rye, but I want to add some clover to it. So I'm going to do between 3 to 4 pounds of red clover and 1 to 2 pounds of white clover, and I'll mix those together and spread it on that plot. So what I'm doing here right now is I went out and just bought some bulk red and ladino clover. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and separate it out of the roughly 10 pounds into my mix that I need, because I'm going to go get some more today as well to do another 1 acre plot, and I just need to get an idea of how much I need. And at the same time too, I don't plan on really heavily seeding with the clover, but I do want a decent amount, and that should blend well with the 150 pounds an acre of the winter rye that I did last fall. So this is the red clover, so we want to try to get about 4 pounds of it, so it'll take most of this bag. And you'll see, if you've ever messed with clover, it's very, very small seeds. So not bad, just over 4 pounds there. So that'll be good on the red. And then on the white, I want to do about 2 pounds. Let's check that. And all I'm doing is just using like a little small scale that you would use for maybe setting up your meals. The general scales for weigh-in is not scaled enough to be able to do it at such a low a weight. So yeah, right there is good, about 2 pounds. So when you look, these two combined will give me about enough red and white or ladino clover to do my 1 acre plot. And I'll see you guys when I get ready to go ahead and spread it. We'll go over the Earthway spreader that I'm using, and I'll go over with you how about going to spread the clover so that it can be frost seeded. Hey guys, alright, so made it up here to the gas well where we're going to be making it into a food plot. As I said, here in the fall, or this past fall, we planted it with some winter rye. We did about 150 pounds per acre. So I'm going to come in today, overseed it with some of the red and ladino clover, and hopefully this will turn into a nice lush green plot here in the spring. I also limed this gas well this past fall. I want to say maybe in the December to January time frame. So since then we've already had several rains and some nice snow accumulation that I can see is already breaking the lime down good and helping it get into the ground. What I want to go over though is some of the benefits of having a clover food plot. I like to have a portion of all my food plots in clover. It's something that always provides green from spring into the fall for habitat, whether that would be for the deer, the turkey, rabbits. I also see groundhogs, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. I see lots of different animals that are coming through and enjoying what we're able to provide, including birds, from just the ability of the clover to draw in different bugs and insects as well. So the benefits of clover is that I can come in here
and frost seed it without ever having to till or break up the ground. So I'm not turning over that seed bank, promoting additional weeds and grass to come in. I can then, with frost seeding, manage the clover through the course of the year with mowings, and if necessary with herbicide applications for grass specific. That way it doesn't go after my clover, but I can knock out the grasses and have a nice, clean, lush green. Also too, it's a great area for the turkeys to come into as a strut zone, so it'll set that up for them. For the deer, it's a high protein source, and it also helps to put in nitrogen and replenish the soil with some of the nitrogen that'll help save me on some of my fertilizer costs in the future. So my plan will be overseed this with clover. I'll let it grow through the summer, and I'll maintain it as well through the summer. And then in the fall, my plan will be is at least the interior of the gas oil of the plot, I'll till it under and most likely plant it with brassicas or turnips. On the outside area that's up against the brush and the woods, I'll leave it in clover. That'll provide a nice ring around for turkey to work their way through. It's also, again, shade tolerant, so that's why I want it butted up against the woods and the brush. So that should set me up good for the fall, to where I'm able to have that provide some food through the summer, get some of that nitrogen benefit, and I'll till it under. So what I'll do next is show you a little bit about the Earthway spreader, and then when I go to spread it, normally what I'll do is run, let's say, north and south, and then I'll turn and go east and west to make sure that I have good seed coverage across the whole 1 acre plot. And what I'll try to do is break that down to where I'm only using half when I do the first way, and then I'll have the other half to go across the other way. So generally when I'm spreading my clover, or when I'm using bigger quantities for my food plots, I like to use the bagged Earthway spreader that goes over the shoulder. It has a little slide adjustment that sets the gap on the size seed and the quantity that you want coming out for any given time. I like it to be able to set a little set screw to where you can pull the slide back, and I'll show you to set that gap. Now another one I like to use is a Scott's hand spreader that's an open one. I normally use it for smaller quantities, such as fillers, for where maybe I see that I've missed with some of my spreading from my initial go round. Otherwise it puts a little bit of stress on the forearm and the arm doing a larger quantity to it. One of the things I like to do when I'm filling this bag is I'll go ahead and roll the top over a little bit. That just helps provide a little bit of a ring here on the top to keep it a little bit more snug and tight when I go to put the clover in, and it's not as likely to fall over and dump some of the seed. Guys, that'll do it for us today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please subscribe, like the channel, set it up to follow me, as I will be bringing you new content about every 2 weeks. So get out there, frost seed your clover, and you'll be reaping the benefits here in the spring. Again, my name's Chris Ashley, and thanks for joining me.